Hello students, I am Deepika Pathak. Today I am here to discuss the topic of community pharmacy management. So, we will discuss today what is community pharmacy, how it is managed, what are the requirements of the community pharmacy. So, let us start with the definition part. Yes, so community pharmacy is the branch of the pharmacy that deals with the different aspects of patient care. So, basically here the community pharmacy is dealing with the major part of the patient care, means the patient counseling, it is related with the dispensing of drugs, advising the patient on the safety of the drug, means to reduce the side effect, to reduce the adverse effects, and rational drug use, means rational drug use, that is a right drug to the right patient in a right dose, right frequency, all these rights will be considered in the rational drug use. Now coming to the community pharmacy management. Now we get to know what is the community pharmacy. After the community pharmacy, we have to manage it, means to achieve our desired goals and the objective of the pharmacy. So, it involves the activities in the organization. We have to organize, we have to direction of getting people together to accomplish desired goals and objectives of pharmacy. What are the desired goals? Of course, to manage the pharmacy. And here we can see that the community pharmacy is linked with the patient as well as the physician. So, there is a direct linkage between the patient and the physician both, and how a community pharmacy will manage it, this is the important part here. Now coming to some of the objective, as we have discussed that some of the objective and goals we have to achieve in the community pharmacy management. And what are these objectives? Let us start with the point number 1. We have to compare in the community pharmacy management the proportion of patients receiving appropriate treatment, means as it should be per standard treatment guidelines according to the WHO, according to the national guidelines. So, we will compare like this. As defined by currently available evidence. I told you evidence based guidelines means which is recommended by either WHO, World Health Organization, or there are some national guidelines. Point number 2, quality health gain. We have to see in the community pharmacy management as it is more patient oriented. So, we will see how many patients have achieved the health in, of course, as it is evidenced or reported in the patient's laboratory data. So, quality health gain by describing the change in patient's overall health status. A patient can suffer any of the disease, but if the patient is taking treatment for it, of course, it will be represented in the laboratory data. On that basis, we can see the treatment is really effective or not. So, point number 2 we can see. Point number 3, conduct an economic evaluation of medicines. So, what community pharmacist will do? As it is more patient oriented, it is doing the patient counseling, it is awareing the patient towards the treatment. So, there is another department we can see which is dealing with the economic evaluation of treatments. What we will see means there could be, I am just taking an example of particular disease, it could be diabetes mellitus, and there are two options, like we can treat it with a drug A and drug B. So there are two options, we can treat by drug A or drug B. Now what we'll do in the economic evaluation, we'll see which therapy is the optimized therapy, not only on the basis of cost but also on the basis of efficacy. So we have to maximize the efficacy and to optimize the cost. So in this point number 3, conduct of economic evaluation, a pharmacist are very well know about what are the treatment options, and a pharmacist will see which option is better in the economic point of view. Now the community pharmacy management requires some of the points to manage it. Point number 1, financial requirement. Point number 2, staffing requirement. Point number 3, infrastructure requirement. To manage a particular pharmacy in the point of view, if I am talking about patient perspective, there are some financial requirements. We have to buy the land, as I am a pharmacist and I want to build a community pharmacy. So what is the first requirement? It is the land. I want to select a site for the pharmacy. So first requirement is to buy a land, then to buy a medications, then to maintain the inventory, and also staffing. We have to hire some personals. So this is the part of staffing. Now there is the point number 3, the requirement infrastructure. So we have to maintain the infrastructure, means roofing, means the walls, means the arrangement we are doing in the pharmacy. So we'll do one by one. Point number 1, financial requirements. What could be the financial requirements here? Let's see. Financing is required to set up a new community pharmacy. Every time it is important when we are opening a new shop, when we are opening a new pharmacy, it is required to see the finance where we will reallocate our investment. So purpose of financing, what is the purpose? I told you, we have to buy a land, we have to select the site, which site is best, the urban area, the suburban area or the rural areas. Then there is a machinery, some machineries are required, some equipments are required to manage the pharmacy. Then there are some raw materials and other materials, there are some surgical equipments which need to be handled by the community pharmacy. So refrigerator could be the equipment to store vaccines, and also some medications. There are some surgical equipments. For all these materials we need some finance. Also the salaries, the wages, the incidental charges to pay the personnel we are hiring in the community pharmacy, we need the finance. To maintain stock and supply products, of course, if we are purchasing, we are maintaining our pharmacy, of course, then it is very important to maintain the inventory. We have to maintain the material. For that, we need the finance. So financing management involves the solution of 3 major decisions. What decisions we have to do? Where we will do the investment as the community pharmacy, which section we need more? Of course, maybe for a particular hospital, if the hospital is dealing with cancer patients, of course the pharmacy which is related in this hospital particularly, this is the community pharmacy, what type of medications the pharmacy will buy? Of course, it is anti-cancerous drugs like this. So the decisions related to the investment will segregate in which of this section and how much in which section. Then there is the funding, where will do the fund and how much the profit is divided into different section. Of course, in the case when the stakeholders put their money in that profession, in that market. So it is very important to know all of these decisions demand a pharmacist with a broad outlook and creativity that will influence all facets of the enterprise. Now coming to the another parameter, it is important that the records kept on the finance are organized. Of course, they are the financial documents, so it is very important at the time to organize it at the time of auditing as well. It is required in such a way that the business owner as well as outsiders such as bank officials can easily see performance of the business. I told you it is needed at the time of auditing. Some of these financial statements are, what could be the financial statements? See, cash flow statement, where we will write like for a day, it could be for the January month, how much products we brought, product A, it could be product A, let it the example, we can write drug A. For drug B, we bought 200 units, for drug B, we bought 400 units. What is the unit piece charge? It could be 2 rupees per piece, it could be 4 rupees per piece. So, total amount like this, how much value we have spent, this is called as cash flow statement. There is the another statement could be profit and loss statement, how much profit we have seen, how much loss we have seen. Loss could be due to many of the reasons, like sometimes product degrade, sometimes product is an expiry, sometimes product is in theft or pilferage. So, there could be the reasons why there is a loss. Sometimes the price get changed. So, at the time loss can be seen. Another is the balance sheet. So, this is also one type of financial statement in the community pharmacy. This is called as a balance sheet. What is the balance sheet? Of course, at the end of month, like this is the cash flow statement for the January month, and we will see how much is the profit we have gained for a particular month and how much is the loss, how much units left in the store, how much units which are consumed in a particular month. So, this we can see from the balance sheet. These type of statements are in the community pharmacy management. Now, coming to the point number 2, staff requirements. After doing the financial requirements, we know where to do the fund, which sections we need more funding, where to do the investment, and what is the dividend, means the profit segregation. Now, coming to the staffing requirements, as we know where we have to locate our community pharmacy, then we will do the funding, and after the purchasing of the medication, we will start the hiring of the staff. So, hiring and developing the required personnel to fill in a various position, as could be the chief pharmacist, hiring could be at the position of chief pharmacist, another could be the junior pharmacist, then there is pharmacist, pharmacy assistant, pharmacist assistant, these could be the positions, helper, these are the staff requirements. These are some of the examples, there could be many more. It involves the scientific, systemic procedure. Of course, before doing the staffing, we need one of the advertisement, staffing advertisement related with a job, like what could be the qualification, what is the benefits, what is the duty roles, what is the salary. So, these all are the points in the staff advertisement. It involves the scientific, that is why written as a scientific, it is a scientific procedure, and systemic procurement. What we are doing? We are procuring and allocating, utilizing, conversation and development of human resources. We are developing human resources on the basis of the strength and the weakness of the person we are hiring. Yes, objective, ensure the optimal utilization. We want the optimal utilization of human resources. How? Because we know which person is better in which section, which area. So, on that basis we will recruit and reallocate the staff in that section. If a particular pharmacist is more aware about the handling of drugs, or a particular pharmacist is more about the more about, you can say, the dilutional of the product, they can do the dilution better, they can do the calculation better, of course we will fit them to that job. Then there is the importance of staffing. Why staffing is required? This is a very important question. Let us see why it is important. Build up a healthy organizational in which the job performance and satisfaction of every employee can be high. Why? See, because staffing injects life into the organization. And why they injects life into the organization, we can see from these one of the part. Because when we are hiring, we know what are the strengths of particular staff, we know the qualification of the staff, we know the better areas where a person can perform. So, on that basis we can do the staffing, and ultimately they will inject life into the organization in which they are perfect. Now, pharmacy business is not only trade but also profession. Yes, this is a very correct thing. It is not only a trade, it is a profession, because we are dealing with the drugs and drugs are dealing with the human life. So, this is a professional, and pharmacist should ensure about the medication. All the medications or medicine should be dispensed under the supervision of qualified person. Who are the qualified person for the community pharmacy? Of course, the registered pharmacist. Who will be registered pharmacist? The question arises. There are 3-4 courses by which we will get this certification. One is diploma in pharmacy, another is bachelor's in pharmacy, then there is PharmD course. PharmD course is very good course as it is giving more patient oriented information. So, let us see, all the medicines should be dispensed under the supervision of qualified person, I told you, as per the Drugs and Pharmacy Act. In Indian context, I told you a person passed 2 years diploma of pharmacy, D pharmacy, undergo practical after completing the pharmacy course, means the diploma in pharmacy, there is a training of 500 hours in the hospital pharmacy. After that only there is the certification called as registered pharmacist. Whereas another course is B Pharm, graduate with 150 hours of practical training. Then a bachelor can take certification of registered pharmacist. So, these points I already told you, and these are the qualified persons as per the DNC Act, Drug and Pharmacy Act. Now, what is the another profession we can see here? This is one of the point. The individual of other qualifications such as 10+2 qualification, means the person who have qualification other than the pharmacy profession or any other degree other than pharmacy, they can be appointed as a pharmacy assistant only, and only after the good experience they can work in the pharmacy shop. Another, the patient focused pharmacy program PharmD, I told you this program PharmD, which was started in 2008, and in this what they are giving, they are telling more about patient focused services, and the students are working more in the hospital, they are getting the knowledge about patient counseling, how to give patient counseling, health screening services. There's some of the screening test and interpretation data they are doing. They are doing adverse drug reporting, drug therapy monitoring, they are analyzing and interpreting about drug therapy. So, PharmD graduates will really add value to the pharmacy through patient care services. So, these are some of the professions through which we can say that the chances in this staffing of community pharmacy. So, these are some of the eligible criteria. Now, coming to the point number 3. We have then the financial requirements. Second is the staffing requirements. After the staffing requirements, there are the infrastructure requirements come. What do you mean by infrastructure requirement? Means how the community pharmacy should be. Means where should be the entrance, where should be the racks, where should be the walls, where, how should be the pharmacy, how it should look. So, there is a space layout, there is a selection of site. In the space layout, what we are doing, we are seeing the method of allocating machines. So, where will put the machine, I told you where should be the racks for the medications, which medicine we will put in lower rack, in upper rack. So, in this allocation of machines and equipments, we will see like this. Various production processes are there, other necessary services involved in the transformation process of the product. So, this is all about the space layout, how it should be. Another is the selection of the site. So, in the infrastructure, this should be the basic or the first criteria where a pharmacy should be. So, in the selection of site, it could be semi-urban areas, it could be the urban areas, it could be the rural areas, and there are many factors. On that basis we will decide which area we should select. What are these factors? See, as I am taking an example of the urban areas. So, in the urban areas we will see there are more transportation facilities. Yes, because they are the city areas. So, there are more transportation facilities, there are more banking facilities, educational facilities, but of course, we have to pay high to the personnel we are hiring as a staff. So, more wage. These are some of the points while we are selecting the urban areas, whereas the opposite exists with the rural areas, and of course, there is an option of semi-urban areas where the chances of extension are more. So, we can select the semi-urban areas also. Now, infrastructure requirements. What are the infrastructure requirements? I told you, while we are selecting the site, we have to see which area is better in the, of course, there are some of the factors and in that perspective which is really suitable. So, material handling and transportation. We will see material handling means what are the medications we are buying. Are they near to that shop? Transportation facilities are available there, workstations are there, there are electricity, there are water facilities, are there banking facilities, there are transportation facilities, educational facilities. These all the facilities will note. Another is the production center and service centers. If a pharmacy needs, a community pharmacy needs the medication, of course, we will see the production center. And what are the service opportunities? Minimize the movements of workers. When we are designing a, yes, so when we are designing a pharmacy, we have to see where should be the entrance, from where the material will go inside the pharmacy. So, we want to minimize the movements by workers. There should be entrance in a manner that there is a minimize of the movements. Another is the waiting area. Of course, the pharmacy, either it is for the inpatient or for the outpatient, we have to see where is the waiting area. So, the waiting area should be with the benches. We can provide some benches for patients to wait there, they can sit there, and of course, some of the creativity. Okay, some posters we can add, so that patient can aware with some of the diseases and the treatment. In this way, we can aware the patient about the health. Yes. Then waiting area for semi-furnished work. Where we are giving the waiting area, it should be good enough. It should be pleasant enough. Flexibility for changes in product design. I told you there are the chances where there could be the extension. So, for the extension, for the flexibility, we will see the area, how the area is. Material reaches at desired speed and lower cost. Where we design our pharmacy, there should be the production center which is near to the pharmacy shop, and so that the material reach with the desired speed and with a lower cost. And when the cost will be lower, of course, when there is a transportation facilities are available very easily, and also the production centers are near, where the services centers are near, where there is a water facility, where there is electricity facility, all these facilities we want, so that the material reach with a desired speed and with a lower cost. Ultimately, we want to provide the drugs with more efficacy and to optimize the cost. So, this is one of the infrastructure requirements for the retail drugstore and the wholesale drugstore. There are two of the options a pharmacist can do as a community pharmacist. If they are opening a particular community pharmacy, they can open it as a retail drugstore design, and they can open it as a wholesale drugstore design. So, this is the design. Here we can see there are the racks, display window for the patients. Here patients can come and they can wait. This is the waiting area. This is the entrance for the medications, so that a person from the production house, they can come and they can come with the medications that they can put it in the racks. There are the chairs, tables, freezer for putting some of the vaccines, serums, and these are the storage areas. Here we can see for the wholesale, there should be the display window, same as with the retail drugstore. The chair, the waiting area should be there, racks are here, freezer is here. So, all are same for retail and wholesale, the only difference is the area, the minimum area. So, for the retail drugstore, we can see the area is nearly 150 square feet. It is 15:10. So, 150 square feet is the minimum area for retail drugstore. Whereas, for the wholesale drugstore, what is the minimum area? It is likely to be 200 square feet. So, these are some of the basic requirements for the community pharmacy, and the only difference is the area, and some of the basic requirements I told you. There should be the display window, there should be the waiting area, some of the racks for putting the medication, freezer for putting the vaccines and serums, and in this manner we can design our community pharmacy. So, this is all about the community pharmacy. What are the requirements, how the pharmacists are managing it, financial requirement, infrastructure requirement, and the last is the staffing requirements. So, thank you so much. We will meet in the next session.